What is going on, everybody? Let me turn the volume down a little bit so I don't hurt everybody's ears. What's going on, guys? Yes, this is not the normal layout we got rolling here. This is just a temporary layout. I had to make it quick because this is just going to be a short stream. As you can see, I'm not even joined by my co-host Charlie here. I just wanted to come on and give you guys kind of my review and reactions about about what we saw last night at Wrestlemania 38 Night 1. We saw Cody Rhodes debut, which is, I mean, what else can you say about Cody Rhodes? He's gonna make WWE a better place and more enjoyable for the product. And that's all we care about here on Heel Turns and High Spots, is we care about professional wrestling. And it doesn't matter who's giving it to us, we will go out there and watch them. And before I came on this podcast talking to you guys, I saw a video that I retweeted, actually. And this video was someone burning their Cody Rhodes shirt. Now, I don't have any, like, you bought the shirt, so you really can do anything you ever want with the shirt. But my thing is, unlike, LeBron James, who turned his back on the city of Cleveland, and I get that. I get why, as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, you want to go out there and burn your LeBron jersey. But what makes a wrestling fan want to go burn their Cody Rhodes shirt? I mean, I'm not mad that, like, Cody Rhodes, like, some fan out there wanted to burn his shirt. That's not what my point is. My point is he gave AEW so much, and there was even I saw an article come out and that said Cody Rhodes, there was nothing left for Cody Rhodes in AEW. What else was there left for Cody Rhodes in AEW? And that answer was not much. I mean, he still had to win. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he never won the AEW World Tag Team Heavyweight Championship, because those Chris Jericho was the first champion, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, and now Hangman Adam Page. So no, Cody Rhodes did not win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. But I mean, there was still nothing left for Cody Rhodes to do in AEW. The roster is bloated already, guys. And Cody Rhodes just wanted to leave and go do something else. He wasn't, top 5 in the company. I mean he was, but Tony Khan had so many new acquisitions, he wasn't being pushed like a top 5 star. So being in WWE is only going to help Cody Rhodes' career, and hopefully it breathes some life into an otherwise dying WWE product, because WWE needs any reason to have people go out there and watch a Raw, watch a Smackdown. Cody Rhodes is that type of an individual. When Cody Rhodes is on television, you are going to go out of your way and you are going to watch Monday Night Raw, or at least I will, because Cody Rhodes is just that type of an individual. And I do think that what should happen is, I think Cody Rhodes needs to come out on Monday, or tomorrow. I'm really happy to see Cody Rhodes WWE stuck with Cody Rhodes' AEW theme song. That is what they needed to do. They needed to keep his presentation the same way as he was in AEW, and let the man go out there and speak. Don't write his promos. I literally have that written in my notes. Don't go out there and write Cody Rhodes' promos himself. Let Cody Rhodes go out there, give him a mic, give him 15 minutes, and let the man go out there and does what he do best and speak. What did you like about him in AEW? You liked his promo ability. Anytime Cody Rhodes had a microphone in his hand, you stopped what you were doing and you listened to what Cody Rhodes had to say. And I mean, it's sad that we didn't get a payoff of the something amazing Cody Rhodes had planned, but maybe this is it. Maybe he had planned this for a while, that he was going to go back to WWE and help them out. Who's to say that? Before we get into the card here, we are only going to talk about a couple matches, guys. I do have all the summary of the matches though, so you guys will not miss anything. But before we get into that, I do want to mention, guys, follow us on Twitter at HTurns8 in the H spots on Twitter. You can follow me and Charlie both on Twitter. Our Twitters are linked down below in the description below. Mine is Freeber Prodigy on Twitter, and his is CBelville44 on Twitter. So let's get into it here, guys. Match 1 was the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And man, it's always a great look when Shinsuke Nakamura has his entrance music played by someone. It doesn't matter who it is, and in this case, it's Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs actually had like guitar amps on the stage, and that was pretty cool because, like they said, Mike's Hard in it. It must have been sponsored by Mike's Hard because during the entrance on their like Minitron and on the stuff around the barricades, Mike's Hard was an ad on that. So I thought that was very interesting. Just to go over this match, I really wasn't too happy with this match. I was actually pretty bored with this match, so I really didn't even write that many notes, but I did write a couple. And so there was a moment in the match where, if you guys listen to our Supercard of Honor review, you should go and check that out. That will be linked down below in the description below as well. Actually, it might even be right here in the annotation. It's actually right there, but annotated in the video. But Boogs hit a nice delayed vertical suplex at one point, but he held it for a few seconds. And when I first saw this move, so the same thing happened in Supercard of Honor, but Bandino held his suplex for a full minute. So I thought Boogs was going to hold his suplex for a little bit longer than that. Maybe not a full minute, but at least like 20 seconds. He did not do that. He literally picked him up and sent him back down. But so I mean, it's hard to look at that and be impressed when you literally watch Bandito do it the night before and he held it for a full minute. I did want to make that point. Jimmy and Jay finished off Nakamura with the 1D for the pin. But, like as I said before, I thought this match was pretty boring, and at this point I thought we were going to be in for a long night, but I was really happy and really surprised that it was actually a pretty good show, all things considered, guys. I did not have big expectations for WrestleMania this year, not going to lie, but night 1 to me felt probably as good as a WrestleMania since 31. I mean, WrestleMania has been lackluster year after year after year, so it's great that they came in with a hard hitter as they did in night 1 last night, and I can't wait to see what they do tonight in night 2. After the match, the announcers kept talking about, kept updating Boogs' health. It seems to be that he suffered a real injury to his leg. So let's hope that Rick Boogs has a speedy recovery. If that is true the case, we'll keep you guys informed on this channel as well. So the next match, we had Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. Not really much to say about this match. The big sticking point, though, I mean, we kind of already knew that Drew McIntyre was going to win this match. So the big sticking point in this match was the Drew McIntyre became the first person to kick out of the End of Days and then hit the patented Claymore kick for the win. I don't even know if that's true or not. Like I was trying to look up any information if anyone has kicked out of the End of Days. I gotta think that somebody have had to kick out of the End of Days, and I'm gonna actually fact check this right here live on the channel. So, nobody, I guess, has kicked out of the End of Days. So Drew McIntyre was indeed the first person to kick out of the End of Days. That is actually hard to believe. As long as Baron Corbin has been in WWE, that they haven't misused his finisher yet. You see a lot of times in WWE, to me, you want some of those. You want some matches to end on, the first fall, because if you just have everybody kicking out of your finisher every time, and you have 3 finishers, think about that. You're doing 3 finishers in a match with somebody, and that, I mean, every time you see that over and over in these matches, it kind of takes away from the finisher a little bit. So I would like to see this more often in WWE product, where maybe you hit one finisher move and they don't kick out, and that's that kind of the match. I mean, obviously that's not an everyday kind of deal. I get why you wouldn't want to do that for a pay-per-view, because it just adds to the excitement of the match, and you're trying to make these matches as long as possible. But I would like to see people not kick out of other people's finishers all the time. I think that would provide a nice little differentiation in the product. So the first match here that we are going to review are the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul. So I do want to make a couple points here. I was very surprised at Logan Paul's ability in the ring. I know most of you guys hate Logan Paul, but I will say that you can't take anything of what he did in the ring on yesterday night. He balled out for you guys. Bad Bunny wasn't even that bad last year at Mania. He excelled Bad Bunny at WrestleMania this year. He came out, and so we'll talk about it in a second, and then I'll go through the match, or I'll give you guys my thoughts about Logan Paul after the match. He came out with a PSA Grade 10 Pikachu Illustrator card around his neck, valued at $5 million, over $5 million. It set the record for the most expensive Pokemon card sold in a private sale. So that was a very cool experience to see. I love Pokemon. If you guys know anything about my gaming channel, Prodigy Freebird, on YouTube, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon, so it was pretty cool to see that. So after the match begins, the Miz tags in Logan Paul, and Paul was taking it to Rey Mysterio in the corner. Rey Mysterio then tied up Logan, and Logan made Mysterio run the ropes. Logan jumped over Rey to avoid him, and he landed in the splits. Logan Paul tagged in Dominik. Logan Paul tagged in the Miz. Rey Mysterio tagged in Dominik. Later in the match, Logan Paul did a nice looking power slam to Dominik, and Dominik kicked out at 2. Logan then tagged in the Miz, and they double teamed Dominik with kicks to the midsections, kind of like Daniel Bryan used to do. Dominik then backslid through the Miz, and he rolled up the Miz for a 2 count. The Miz then tagged in Logan Paul, and Logan Paul, man, he hit a phenomenal, nice looking flying net breaker. And man, I mean, if you're gonna pull out that, you can wrestle in the WWE, because you're only gonna get you're only, if you can pull out a couple good moves, I think you'll be fine in WWE, anywhere in fact, because the more you work in the ring, the obviously that only adds to the experience you have in the ring, and the more experience you have at anything, you're only going to get a better outcome doing that thing. So that's anything in the world. So Miz tagged in Logan. Oh, I'm sorry. Dominik finally tagged in Rey for a nice pop to the crowd. Rey hit a flying Hurricane Rana, and man, I just love that move. It just looks awesome. No matter when you see it, you always want to just be watching the TV when Rey does the flying Hurricane Rana. Miz countered the 619, but Rey turned it into a DDT for a 2 count. This looks awesome. So Miz was kind of on the ropes, and then he kind of pushed Rey off the ropes, and then as Rey was still on the Miz, that's when he turned it into a tornado DDT. So very cool looking spot. In tribute to Eddie Guerrero, Rey went for the 3 Amigos. He got through 2 of them, 2 of the suplexes, when Miz drove Rey shoulder first into the ring post. So then Miz took this opportunity, tagged in Logan Paul, who picks Rey up and delivers a 3 Amigos of his own, but he actually got through the 3rd one, and the crowd hated on Logan Paul for actually disrespecting Rey. So that was a cool touch. And later in the match, oh, I'm sorry, he then climbs up the ropes and hits the pivotal Eddie Guerrero frog splash from the top rope. And later in the match, Dominik and Ray hit a 619 together. They both kind of came from like each sides on the rope, so that was a pretty cool sight. Until Logan Paul for a 2 count. The Miz then tags himself in and delivers skull-crushing finale on Ray for the win. The Miz and Logan Paul retain. After the match, the Miz delivers skull-crushing finale to Logan Paul with the crowd's approval. I'm going to give this match a 6 out of 10. A couple good spots for me in this match was the DDT that was countered by Ray. The Eddie Guerrero frog splash from Logan looked good. I know he was practicing it. I saw a couple of videos on Twitter about that. That flying neck breaker looked good. And after the match, After the match, the Miz delivered skull-crushing finale to Logan Paul. So it kind of seems like Logan Paul might be transitioning into a face here on WWE television. If Logan Paul can continue going out there and putting on these great performances in the ring, I have no problem with him coming back for a couple appearances here and there, and doing that in ring work. But we'll see what Logan Paul's journey takes him next. I don't know if they're going to have him continue on WWE television. He did make a couple comments talking about if he would want to be in the WWE or not. So I don't know if WWE has any plans for Logan Paul or not, or if this was just a way to kind of end their storyline. But it does seem like we're going to be getting a match between The Miz and Logan Paul. That is for sure. So after the match, Stephanie McMahon's theme music played, and she came out and introduced Gable Steveson between matches. This was just kind of a way to introduce him before, I'm assuming, tomorrow night. Very, very nice. He just kind of did a quick wave from the ramp, and then we got the Raw Women's Title bout. So after a couple, there was promo packages for every match. I really didn't write it out because we're gonna get the match anyway. You guys know what happened. You guys seen Raw. So let's get into it here. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. This was I thought this was a very nice match, and I've watched this match. I watched all these matches twice. I watched one live yesterday, and then I redid my notes this morning when I was trying to figure out what I should say on this podcast today. But to begin the match, I didn't really think going into this match, I really didn't think there was a point in to do this match again, because I really didn't feel anything from SummerSlam. SummerSlam was so pointless to have Becky Lynch go out there and beat Bianca Belair in 26 seconds, because you literally just stopped Bianca Belair's momentum, and it took you a full 6 months to rebuild her back up again. It literally took you until last night to build her back up again. And why go through all that work when all you had to do was put on this match at SummerSlam? And if you do that, then nothing's wrong. You do that, nothing is wrong, man. All you had to do was book a good match, not a 6-second match or whatever it was, 26-second match. I don't even care what it was, because the point is that match never should have happened. You should have had Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch go out there and actually put on a good wrestling program at SummerSlam. There was no need for this match. No, it was not long-term booking by WWE, so do not give me that, guys. It was WWE not caring about Bianca Belair, them booking 26 seconds, and then at Royal Rumble, they just so happened to think, we had Bianca Belair lose to Becky Lynch in 26 seconds. Why don't we have her go win the Royal Rumble and go beat Becky Lynch to get her comeuppance? And that really doesn't do it in my book, guys. So Becky Lynch enters with a white Suburban. Something about Becky Lynch's ring attire really did not sit well with me. She just did not look good. Like her hair, I get her hair because in the storyline, Bianca Belair kind of cut her hair. She just looked like the evil queen from Snow White. The bell rang, and Belair extended her hand as a sign of respect. Lynch slapped her hand away and hit the manhandle slam for a 2 count. I knew Bianca was not going to get pinned again here for 26 seconds because that would just drive the world insane, I think. I think that WWE would have had another thing coming to them if they did that again. So I kind of knew that wasn't going to be the end of the match there. Shortly after, Becky went for the disarmer, but Bianca got to the ropes. Later in the match, Becky Lynch pulled Bianca Belair outside of the ring by her hair and then drove Bianca Belair through the steel steps. Bianca Belair locked in a chin lock. Becky locked in a chin lock. Bianca escaped through the top rope, where Becky countered to a double underhook suplex, and she transitioned into an armbar for a 2 count with the armbar still locked in. So that was a nice spot. After that, Belair went for a power bomb. Becky outside. Belair went for a power bomb. She was standing in the ring, but she power bombed Becky outside. But Becky pulled Belair outside with her, so both of them were outside on the ground. And then Belair puts a nice vertical suplex on Becky outside of the ring. Back in the ring, Belair hit a gut buster for a 2 count. Becky rolls up Bianca for a 2 count. Belair goes up top. Becky Lynch goes up with her. Belair dropped Lynch off the top rope, and then Belair hit an amazing 450 splash for a 2 count. That was a very nice spot. I really didn't know what to expect there. I didn't even know Bianca Belair can do a 450 splash, so that was news to me. That was amazing to see at Wrestlemania. That was another great Wrestlemania moment there. Later in the match, Bianca Belair hits a spine buster, and both trade 2 counts back and forth with each other. Belair then hit a KOD and threw Lynch to the outside. She threw Lynch to the inside of the ring, but then Lynch rolls to the outside on the other side of the ring. She then delivers Becky then delivers a manhandle slam on the steel steps. Bianca narrowly beats a 2 count, and then Becky pins Bianca. Bianca narrowly beats a 10 count to get back in the ring, and then Becky pins Belair for a 2 count. And at this point, Lynch was starting to wonder what she had to do, how far she had to go to beat Bianca Belair. And she picks Belair up, and Belair did a backflip over Lynch to counter and hit the KOD for the win. Bianca Belair is your new Raw Women's Champion. I gave this match a 7.5 out of 10. This was an interesting matchup for me. A lot of nice spots in this match. It kept me excited the whole way through. Again, I just didn't really see the need for this match because you already did it at SummerSlam. But the match we got was fine, so it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to complain too hard about it because it was a great match. And Bianca Belair wins with the KOD. And that, man, let me just say it again. That 450 splash for a 2 count was just a great spot, man. Great spot. I wish that we saw more of that inside WWE, but we do not. The next match, speaking of AEW, great segue here into our next topic. So Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent. And WWE, man, could not keep Seth Rollins' opponent a secret. I think you know as well as I know that we both knew that Cody Rhodes was going to return to WWE in this moment. I think I was actually watching this with one of my friends, and I turned to him and I said, let me tell you, if Cody Rhodes does not return to WWE tonight, WWE is going to be in some tough water. Watch Pats, just wanted to say hi. How you doing, my man? What did you think of the card last night? And what we'll do is we'll stay tuned and have a couple. We'll chat after the show too for a little bit. and all that good stuff. So, I mean, we both knew that Cody Rhodes was going to return, and it was definitely similar to when CM Punk debuted in AEW wrestling, because everyone knew in the world that he was coming out, but you didn't actually believe it until it actually happened. I actually had chills from when Seth Rollins was just standing in the ring, and just he literally was like, come on, we don't got all day. Like, he was just amping the crowd up, and I literally got chills, and I couldn't even tell you the last time I got chills. Probably I think the last time I probably got chills was when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. That's probably wrong. I probably had a couple more chills. I think in AEW I had chills when the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks at All Out. But other than that, I mean, I really don't get chills from professional wrestling, and this made me get chills. So so there was a moment in the show where I thought we were actually going to be getting Shane O'Mac, and I was just so happy to see Cody Rhodes, man. Cody Rhodes is that type of guy that is going to make your wrestling product better, and that is why all of you WWE fans and AEW fans should be happy right now. I guess the AEW fans might not be happy because they lost Cody Rhodes, but still, you're a professional wrestling fan. Go out there and be happy for professional wrestling companies. I get that you might not like WWE, what they normally put on. I don't either, man. Trust me, I don't either. But Cody Rhodes gives them, that better roster to where maybe, and I said this before earlier, where Cody Rhodes is that type of guy where if he's on TV, you're going to stop what you're doing and you're going to go watch him. And so I hope that is true, and I hope they continue to book him strong in WWE. We'll see Monday. I'm assuming he's going to be the first person we're going to see Monday at Raw. So we'll have to see what he says there. So to get into the match, basically Rollins came out, and so Rollins, as I said, Rollins was in the ring, saying, come on, we don't have all day. Bring him out, bring him out. And then all of a sudden, fireworks go off around the ring. So all four corners, boom, fireworks. And then up the ramp all the way onto the stage, and the stage fireworks went off. And then Cody Rhodes' AEW music hits, and the crowd goes nuts for the first time for Cody Rhodes after leaving 6 years. From WWE. Cody Rhodes is back in WWE, and man, beautiful to see, man. I've already talked about it enough, but I don't know who it was that was announcing this match, but it definitely was one of the Monday Night Raw announcers and or commentators, I could say. And the commentator, it wasn't Corey Graves, so I really don't know who it was, but he said no one in AT&T Stadium could believe it. And I kind of laughed out loud because we all knew it was going to happen. We all knew Cody Rhodes was going to debut on this show. Don't lie, you knew. So Cody Rhodes walks down the ring. The American Nightmare steps into the ring, and then the Cody chant breaks out to start the match. Rhodes starts off with an arm drag and then showboats to the crowd. It definitely was a slow start indeed for this match. Well deserved. Let the stage and the atmosphere kind of speak for itself. Counter for counter until Rhodes dumps Seth Rollins, and Rollins drags Cody outside with him. Seth dives Cody out of the ring. Cody drives Seth into the ring post. Then throws him back into the ring and locks in an armbar. Seth counters, but Cody responds with a kick to the groin. Cody responds with an enziguri. The American Nightmare was going for the crossroads, and Rollins drop kicked Rhodes in mid-air. That was pretty sick. Pretty sick spot there. I think I mentioned this on our post show yesterday, but there has been a lot of spots lately in all companies. You know, we saw it in Ring of Honor yesterday, or in on Friday. We saw it with WWE yesterday. We've been seeing it with AEW. We've been seeing a lot of kicks in midair, and I don't know why exactly, but they're all great spots, great looking spots, especially when Adam Cole super kicked. I forget who it was, but I think it was Jay Lethal in midair. Later in the match, Cody hit a great looking power slam, dumped Seth outside. Cody goes through the middle ropes and laid Seth out on the announce table. Cody puts Seth in the ring, climbs to the top rope, and then hit Crossroads, but did not get all of it. Seth kicks out at 2. They go outside or he did not hit Crossroads because he went off the top rope, but he did not get all of it because Seth kicked out at 2. They go outside where Seth drives Cody into the barricade. Seth throws Cody inside. Seth hits a knee to the face, followed by a super kick to the jaw and a Falcon Zero. Great spot, great transition. Cody Rhodes kicks out at 2. Cody Rhodes counters a curb stomp into a roll-up for a 2 count. Cody Rhodes then rolls up Cody for a 2 count. Cody Rhodes hit a Crossroads for a 2 count. Cody Rhodes goes up top, but Rollins takes Cody's legs out from under him. Rollins then climbs up with Cody Rhodes to the top rope and hits an inverted superplex. And then when he's like in the ring, he hit a dragon sleeper, and Rhodes still kicked out at 2, man. Great freaking spot. This is what we want to see, man. This match, you know what? Actually, I'll save it to say that line. But later in the match, there was a spot where Rollins hit a pedigree, and Rhodes then kind of countered. And, or I'm sorry, Rollins was teasing a pedigree. He hit the pedigree. Rhodes got up. He countered and teased the pedigree. So, kind of like what he did in like what he would do in AEW. So he would pick them up, and then instead of like just doing the pedigree right there, he like picks up their hands, and he then just he then teases a pedigree of his own, and then he moved Rollins' hands, and then all he did was Seth countered it and just into a bridge for a 2 count. Rhodes then hit a powerbomb on Seth. Seth then hit a pedigree on Rhodes for a 2 count. They were both then trading blows back and forth in the middle of the ring, and then Rollins hit a rolling elbow and then hit the back of Cody's head. Rhodes responded with immediately 2 crossroads in a row, and then hit the bionic elbow, a late great move from the old, or I should say a move from the late great Dusty Rhodes, as you know, Cody Rhodes' dad, and hits another crossroads for the win. I said it again, guys, great match. This was a 10 out of 10 match in my book. I can't wait to see what Cody Rhodes does on television, guys. Hopefully it makes Monday Night Raw. Can't wish for here to come, and I will start watching it again, bro. I will start watching Monday Night Raw again if Monday Night Raw starts becoming good because of Cody Rhodes. Here at Heel Turns and High Spots, we just want to see great professional wrestling, and that is exactly what we got here in this match. So you're not going to hear any complaint out of me. You ain't going to hear any complaint out of my partner, because that is exactly what we got tonight. After the match, Cody Rhodes was just taking in the Wrestlemania atmosphere. And I do have a couple comments here from my partner, Charlie. Charlie wanted to say, what a great wrestling match from Cody and Rollins. This will be the best match on WrestleMania this year by far, simply because it was a pro wrestling match. You won't get that one from anyone else on the roster at WWE. He's going to bring the heat, and it's up to the rest of the roster to keep up with him, because he's not slowing down. Seth was a great opponent choice for tonight, because we know that Seth can hang with Cody. There are only a handful of guys that can hang with Cody. 10 out of 10 from me. I don't need to watch the rest of WrestleMania. And kind of just going off of what Charlie said here in that statement, I'm going to have to agree with him. I mean, it probably will be the best match on WWE television this week. And just because it was simply a pro wrestling match. I mean, they went out there and they put a barn burner on it. And, I mean, And what he said there is he's gonna bring the heat, and it's up to the rest of the roster to keep up with him. That is 100% true, because whereas in AEW you have a really crowded heavyweight division, and even now a crowded mid card division. WWE really doesn't have like that many top tier talent at the top. I mean, right now you have Roman and Brock, but that's going to end tonight when whoever the undisputed champion is crowned. So, I mean, Cody Rhodes has that opportunity to get up there into that level and be that next turn superstar, and that he could not make himself be in AEW. And I think that's part of the reason why Cody Rhodes is going to go to, or that's why Cody Rhodes is here in AEW, is because he knows that he wants more for himself. He knows that he can be a champion if he comes into WWE. He knows that he can out-wrestle almost all these guys on this roster. He knows that that he's going to be a draw in WWE, and it's only going to be highlighted by WWE's big productions and big shows. So, you know, not much more I could say about that match, guys. Highly entertaining, probably the best show, or definitely the best match of the night, and probably will be the best match of tonight too. At the next match, guys, we had Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. I could not care about this match, guys. But we did get a couple nice spots in this match, and it was. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I felt as if Charlotte Flair was gonna win going into this match. I don't know how you guys felt. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I felt like Charlotte Flair was just gonna was gonna get, I'm sorry, I felt like Ronda Rousey was gonna get fed to to Charlotte Flair here, and that's exactly what we got. So basically, as soon as they locked up, we knew it was gonna be a physical exchange. They were not trying to make it look, pretty. They were just rough lockup. It was all about making it look like they were having a fight. They did do a good job making it feel competitive, but it really didn't really reach the I think the height that WWE wanted it to reach. But it was definitely an okay match. But at the end, Flair scored the win with a big boot to retain her title. So it's gonna be it's gonna be weird, or it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with both Flair and Rousey after this fight. You got to think Rousey is going to be getting another championship opportunity somehow, some way. So then we go to the main event, guys. We got the KO show versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. So obviously KO kicks the KO show off with the host, obviously KO himself. He says, if North America was human, Texas would be the ass. I realize that might not have been fair. Maybe I should apologize. I want to apologize to every Texan. I am sorry for speaking the truth about your state. I've been here for a couple of days and it's worse than I remember. You guys are eager for my guess. I'm going to bring him out when I want to because I am the host. We have the worst role model here tonight. I'm going to look him in the eyes and tell him how much he sucks. And he won't do anything because he knows if he doesn't show me some respect, I will hit him with a stunner in the middle of the ring and pour beer over him. Glass breaks, Stone Cold music walks out. He goes to both sides, signals the crowd, then walks back, and he grabs the four-wheeler, and then he drives the four-wheeler to the ring. That will be important to come. KO says, "This is my show, so take a seat, Austin." Steve says, then he says, "Okay, Steve, calm down, take a seat." And then he says, "Wait, I'm not just here for a fight. Just want to have a nice chat. First of all, thanks for coming in and accepting my invitation." Stone Cold then says, "You wanted to bring out here for a conversation after all the trash you've been talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin? You look like a jackass. Then you run down the great state of Texas, you stupid son of a bitch." Steve, what's great about Steve, what's great about Texas? In the summer, it's hot as hell. The people wear stupid boots, stupid hats, stupid belt buckles. You can tell if anyone is from Texas because they look stupid, and I would have moved to Mexico. It's right there. Stone Cold then says, in about 5 seconds, you will have about 75,000 calling you an asshole. Crowd breaks out into an asshole chant. KO then says, come on, you don't have to be like a typical Texan. Be like me, a well-educated Canadian. I will move past the insult and be the bigger person. I said I invited you here not to talk. That was a lie. But I only lie for good reasons. I tricked you because even though I have a bad back, I'm looking for a fight. I'll challenge you, Stone Cold Steve Austin, to a match. I know it's been 19 years. I'm sure your knees, back, and neck hurt like hell then, and I'm sure even worse now. But I want to challenge you to a no-hold-bar match right here, right now. After a couple more insults from Owens, Stone Cold takes the picks up his microphone and he says, you know, I had my first match in Texas. I could have my last match in Texas. If you want Stone Cold to compete in a match with this sack of shit, give me a hell yeah. The crowd goes, hell yeah. I couldn't hear you. Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bring me out a ref. And then a ref comes down and the bell rings. So this, I really didn't have that much I don't really have much notes in the match, but Austin takes it to KO early here. He throws him into the corner, pours beer on KO, and then he stomps KO 15 times. He chucks KO outside, grabs another beer, takes a sip, sets it into the ring. KO then throws Austin into the barricade. Austin responds with a clothesline. Later in the match, Austin throws KO over the barricade, so they're in the middle of the crowd at this point, punching and chopping KO all over the crowd. KO then counters, hits Austin with a suplex on the concrete floor of the stadium. Man, that's gotta hurt. That just gotta hurt. It was literally middle of the crowd on AT&T Stadium. KO just picked Austin up and suplexed him right on the ground. Man, that is your back is really gonna be hurting today, eh? KO then throws Austin back into the ringside, and Austin then dumps KO on the announce table, grabs 2 beers, and drinks them both. As KO was on an announce table, Stone Cold hit a couple more punches on KO, drank another beer, dumped KO back into the ring, rolls on the apron. KO hops on the four-wheeler. Austin did as well, and then Austin drove the four-wheeler with KO on it to the ramp. And when he got to the ramp, he walked to the left side first, and he delivered a suplex to Owens. Then he took Owens, walked to the right side, delivered a suplex to Owens. Great spot. That looked like it hurt Owens. And then after that, taking shots all the way back down to the ring, Austin grabs 2 beers, hops into the ring, and drinks them both. And then KO hits a stunner on Austin for a 2 count. Kevin Owens picked up a chair. Austin evaded the chair shot and hit a stunner for his own 3 count. So, I mean, very good little KO show segment here. Anytime you hear the glass breaks, it's just going to bring those chills back into you and go back and make you get your goosebumps. I was there at Wrestlemania 32. Stone Cold Steve Austin, HBK, Mick Foley all came out and defeated the at the time the League of Nations. And man, like I can't even tell you the just chills you get when you hear that glass break. Very great moment, and this was just a great show. And yeah, overall, I would give this segment we'll give this segment a 8 out of 10. And overall, I'm going to give night 1 of WrestleMania a 8 out of 10. Mainly because the Cody Rhodes, WWE did not let us down with that. And the Austin segment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast, guys. If you guys do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at HTurns and HighSpots on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter at Freebird Prodigy on Twitter. Follow my co-host Charlie on Twitter, C Belleville 44. And we will see you guys tomorrow for WrestleMania Part 2.